What's up, guys? This is Autohaus Z from CM Autohaus. Today we're going to do some charging system diagnosis because I'm pretty sure I just figured out this headache. So the backstory about this car, the owner brought this in for the alternator does not charge the battery, and he's constantly been having this issue. So there's a new alternator. His old battery ended up being bad, but that was not the issue. So let's talk about some charging system diagnosis. So engine off, you should optimally have 12.4 volts about at the battery. And then the extra 0.4 is really important because actually like a battery that's just a straight 12.00 volts, that's in some, I don't really know how to say it, I'll put it this way, like in textbook wise, that's almost like a dead battery. So 12.4 engine off, and then car running, you should have charging system voltage, so optimally about 13.8 to 14. So if your battery voltage is the same with the car running, then the alternator is probably not charging. Another way to tell that the alternator is not charging is we will go into the car and see. All right. So another way to tell that the alternator is not charging, the brake and the charge light should both illuminate, saying that the alternator is not charging. And there's a problem. Most commonly, whenever I've had to go call the tow truck because my alternator died, some weird stuff will happen. Like one of my headlights will work and the other one won't, or the radio will be on but then like all the music will not play anymore, and then that's usually my cue, like, oh shit, time to call the tow truck, or the alternator died again. So I had to rack my brain the past 2 or 3 days trying to figure this out. So I drove home yesterday night with all the accessories on, and it was fine. I had a multimeter hooked up to the car, so driving I constantly had 13.8 to 14 the whole way. This morning, this is important, the brake light only stayed on the whole time and the charge light would never illuminate. So when you key on engine off, the cluster will do a bulb check, so all 3 of these will illuminate, and that was key. The charge light was not illuminating. The charge light would never illuminate. That's really key, and I'll tell you why that's key and why that's key. And I'll tell you, ow, I hit the mirror. And I'll tell you why that's key. So if we look at the wiring diagram, let's bring this over here. Here's that charge light that's in the instrument cluster. It's powered by the 7.5 amp ignition fuse, which is next to your left foot. So I scribbled out all this because this is SR5 stuff. SR5 has a charge relay, a GTS does not, so ignore all that. I marked on the wiring diagram just to clear things up. So if you notice, the charge lamp circuit goes to the 7.5 amp charge fuse, which is under the hood right there. And so I noticed when the battery wasn't charging, and I got my test light out here, I would not get power at either leg of the charge fuse. So here's what happened. This bulb burned out, and it's one of those things where, like, because the suspension's stiff in this car, when you'd hit a bump, sometimes the filament would be open, or sometimes maybe like a leg of filament would go back into place, and then the charge light would go back, or complete the circuit again. I noticed that too when I first took in the car. Was like, man, the charge light's kind of dim and kind of works sometimes, and then other times it wouldn't. So that's, to sum everything up, this is critical. If the charge warning lamp in the instrument cluster is bad or open, it creates an open circuit so that your alternator will not work. So thank you guys for watching. I was supposed to upload the Instagram live video, but then I forgot to save, as always. So yeah, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and listen to the Autohaus Podcast. Thanks, you guys.